Today we're gonna make coffee with the AeroPress. Push, push. Woo! Did it spill? The AeroPress. Why? It makes a fucking awesome cup of coffee. Some of the things that I like to do, which this is like just the way I like to do business. Other people don't like to do business like this, or maybe they don't think it's appropriate. I don't know. So first, I like to wet my filter. Yeah. Okay. Get it nice and hot. I don't like having a dry plunger either. So the first thing we actually need to do before we do any of this is grind coffee. What do we got here? Oh, little SS. So this is a BRCC hand grinder. We developed this a couple years ago. It's about 30 grams of coffee. Well, I want about 2 fingers worth of coffee, and so I'm not gonna take a scale with me to the backcountry. I got about 1.5 inches in coffee. Got about 2 fingers worth of coffee on the nose. I pre-wet my filter. The way that I like to do this might be a little bit different than some people because I invert the AeroPress and I let it steep for typically 1 minute. So let's go ahead and check that out. And first thing is, or equal water to coffee first. And then you're gonna have some dry spots in there. So you wanna stir this in a little bit. You let it steep for roughly equal parts gram. So this is 25 grams. So if you got 2 fingers, 30 grams of coffee, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh. You really don't need to let your AeroPress steep for longer than 1 minute. So by the time you do your second pour, you're typically going to be around 45 seconds to 1 minute. You're going to screw your cap back on. And trust me when I say your cap has to go on tight, because if it doesn't, you can blow this thing out the sides and it causes a big mess for everybody. Let's press this B. So typically you'd want to use your funnel. You don't have to. I always pull all the air out of it. So I go all the way down to the coffee till it's spilling over, and I go in. And then, you know, heat and pressure, man. You can get a lot of stuff done with some heat and pressure. If you press too hard, it spills out the sides. So it's nice, even, consistent pressure. I like to push all the coffee out, you know? See this? It's pretty good. And of course, if you want it stronger, you put in less water to coffee or more coffee to water. If you want it weaker, do the same thing. It's fairly easy. It's just coffee to water, water to coffee. Fluctuate those two things. Let it steep or sit longer. I like my coffee a little bit lighter, so I tend to drink typically a 1:16 ratio if we're doing a pour over with something like this. Knowing that the AeroPress, you definitely can use it in your house, but most of the time I'm using it when I'm out and about. So I'm not weighing anything. All I'm doing is adjusting grinds and water to come up with the appropriate profile that I want. What's in the box? What's in the box? We got this little guy, the Prismo Aeropress Coffee Maker Attachment. What I like to call is, this is the ACMA. ACMA. That's the way the guys and I talk about it around the office. No big deal. That's what we do. So let's clean this thing. There you go. Got a nice little, look at that. Isn't that cool? So that's a metal, but it actually will not go down through the grate unless you apply pressure to it. So it'll actually hold, this will hold water. Let's try this one and see if it's good. And actually there's quite a bit of a taste difference between this and the previous one, which was just the standard AeroPress. It's a big difference. Yeah, that is good.